Hello and welcome everyone. Welcome to episode 104 of DevChatter. Hopefully you are all having a fantastic start to your week. Today is Monday. It is September 10th and I've got some good code planned for today. Let's see. A couple of people complaining about our 4-minute late start, which does tell you I usually start the channel right on time, so it's usually exactly at our appointed time when the channel goes live, and we come in shortly after that. And welcome anybody that was lurking around in the Code Rush stream. If you are here looking for some C# and JavaScript today, this is the channel that you want to make sure you're watching. Lucky number 7 hosted us with 1 viewer? That seems crazy. Lucky number 7 should have more lurkers than that sitting around, but maybe he raided someone last night. Anyway, welcome Lucky number 7. Thank you for that host. As well as Code Rushed for your host as well. So we're going to go ahead and get started by talking a little bit about what we were doing on Saturday. So, for anyone who is new to the stream, we have all of our... Hey, I heard coding. Welcome. Thank you for the Twitch Prime subscription there. Greatly appreciated. Please enjoy your dino egg there. And also, don't forget about your DevChatter hype emote that you now have access to. So much appreciated. Yeah, let's see some hype spammed in the chat there. Oh, actually, now that I think about it, speaking of hype spammed in the chat, there we go. Hello, greetings, Mark from Berlin. Glad to have you here. Also nice to see some hype in the chat, also all over the screen. Okay, so. Oh yeah, no problem, I heard coding. Welcome, hopefully you like the new stuff, like our hilarious hype and derp that are going on here on the stream. We have a couple of other things that we're doing related to that. So, for anyone who is new here, and you don't know about it, all the code that we do here on the stream is actually uploaded to GitHub at github.com/devchatter. You can find it all here. And in fact, if you want to contribute to any of our projects, you are able to at any point by sending us pull requests. I'll review the pull request, and if the code is something we want to bring into the project, we'll just bring it in immediately, and if it needs changes, I'll usually let you know what revisions need to be made in order to bring it in. So, on Saturday, we were working on some code. I created a pull request from that code because I wanted to make sure that we could see, hey, this is the code that we were working on, and we can see our progress as we work towards it. It wasn't done and ready to get pulled in yet, but this is a nice way to draw the team's attention to it. So if your code's not getting cluttered with tons of pull requests, then this is a way to draw attention to some code that needs people to look at it. So what we were doing was actually a couple of changes. We kind of mixed a couple of things together, but it's not a huge deal. The first change that we made is that we are fixing up the JavaScript that does all that hype and derp stuff. In fact, we added the derp one in there. So, hype works in the chat, whoops, if I spell it correctly, and so does derp. And if you trigger them at the same time, we have a little bit of a problem because we didn't wire it up correctly, but slight bug that actually is kind of fun, so we're not going to fix it just yet. But that's the craziness that it does, so I apologize if that just lagged everything on everyone, because that's harder for a stream to compress as it sends down to you. Anyway, what we want to do is this. We want to make it so that that command is slightly different. So we want blast hype and blast derp to be the actual commands that run when you type in !hype and !derp. With the reason being that it would be nice if it were a single command that dealt with, you know, we're going to fire an image. Wait, did I wire up drep to work? I must have aliased that and forgot I aliased that. Really? I wired that up? Derp command? Really? Well, it's not one of the defaults. Weird. Drep. Anyway. Apparently. Oh, maybe someone added it. Maybe Stoolpenner added it. Anyway, because our mods actually are able to change the commands here, so it might be the Stoolpenner messed with it. Regardless, let's take a look at, at some of the code that I did. So I did a couple of things without you guys, and I want to show you what they are. So, first, I want to mention what we did last time. So, on our last stream, we added in a new thing called an alias argument. So, the idea here is we want !blast hype to equal ! hype. Wow, Stoolpenner, there you go. So, blast hype and hype. Actually, I approve of that alias. It's a very good one. Because plenty of people are going to typo that all the time. So blast hype should equal hype. I want that to be the case. In order to do that, what that means is we need a more robust system of aliases. So, that requires that I create a blast command, and with it, I add in the argument, what do you want to blast? In this case, hype. So, when we make that command, it needs to accept those arguments. So, step 1, I am going to convert the hype command into a blast command. And welcome, Harry Developer. So I want to do this, and for now, I'm just going to do a switch. So I always recommend that people start off with the simplest solution that works. So let's say that's arg1 for now. And arg1 is going to be a string, and it's going to have either hype, case, hype, or break, case, derp, break. There we go. So now we need arg1 to exist. So I'm going to say string arg1 equals ventargs arguments. And we are going to say 0. So instead of calling this arg1, this is going to be, wrong button, thing to hype, thing to blast. Thing to blast. There we go. Switch on the thing to blast. And then in this one, we're going to say hype, DevChatter hype. And in this one, we're going to say, what is it? Herp, derp, DevChatter derp. Okay. Arid Tag, hey, welcome! Haven't seen you in a while. Glad you at least could stop by with a lurk. And, Copious, welcome. I see a bunch of people showing up. Deathmax, hi. Welcome, everybody. Okay, so we're going to put this structure in to begin with. Now, we may decide that we need to follow the open-close principle just to kind of pull this out, but if they really are going to be this simple, we might leave this for now. So we'll see what happens. So first things first, we need those. Next, we need to put hype there. Bring this down here for derp. So we're changing our existing code. So we're going to change the name of this command from hype command to blast command. So there's blast. We will no longer even have the hype command. It is gone. make the thing a strategy again. Otherwise, yeah, so copious. Yes, exactly. So use the strategy pattern or the command pattern. Something like that would be the idea. But what I recommend to people is, because you can go forever trying to implement the open-close principle and things like that, is don't do it until you're exceeding like 1 or 2 instances. So in this case, if you can get away with, you know, like just a switch on this, if it were only ever going to be hype and derp, I would recommend you start that you just leave this, because it's not worth adding the strategy pattern to get around this much that we've got right here. But if we even add a third, which we're going to add eventually, then you want to get rid of it. So the reason I'm building it this way is we haven't actually gotten the requirement for the third one yet. So start simple, refactor to what you need when you get there. So we'll add in the strategy pattern soon, don't you worry. Let me just make sure no remnants of hype in here, the file renamed as well. And welcome Visual Studio lurkers, glad to have you here. We are writing some C# and JavaScript code here today, should be fun. Rubik's, hey, glad to see all these dinosaurs, hatching dinosaurs, and dino eggs in the chat. Lots of subscribers today, glad to see you all here. Copious, we do not have a unit test on this, I don't think. I don't think we have one for the hype command, because it pretty much just did a pass-through. There wasn't any logic on it. So we test a lot of our stuff here in this, but I'm not a big fan of testing the thing that just did a pass-through to something else. I would rather test the other pieces, like testing the code that handles a game or something like that. So we're going to be doing that when we set up our duel game. You'll see it there. For now, I wanted to finish the stuff we were working on last time. So that gets us our blast there. So now, in theory, if I run this again, we should be able to do blast type and blast derp. Then I want to create the special alias for it. And you'll see what I created on Saturday when we do that. So let me try blast hype, blast derp. Okay, and what if I just do blast without anything? It doesn't do anything. Good. Let's have it yell at you. So I guess that's the... Once we pull that out as operators... Oh, yeah, copious. I apologize about that. When we spam that, anybody whose network connection can't pull down the video fast enough, you're going to get lag. So I will try not to spam those too much, just while we're testing them here a little bit, because that's going to be a whole bunch of screen changes all over the screen, and then that means that it can't compress the video as much. Dylan, hey, welcome. Haven't seen you in a while. Okay, so where was I? Not base command. Where did blast command go? Did I close it? I must have closed it. Okay, so back in here, we need to have the default case, which is where we chat client, send message, and it is help text, which we need to we didn't write help text. Ah! What? There it is. Help text equals. What's the help text for the blast command? Oh, copious. If you check down below the stream, you will find information about the music. There's actually a lot of useful stuff down below the stream if everybody wants to take a look at the panels. Panels are what those little widgets are called that are down below where there's information. That's if you're watching this on Twitch. If this is a YouTube recording, then then you won't see those, because they're on Twitch, not YouTube. YouTube has a description down below, which also has the music on it. Okay, so we want to give you text about the help command. So the help text about the blast command. To use the blast Last choice. Use that. Replace choice with derp. Let's do this. Hype. Or derp. Now, here's the cool thing, is this is going to get replaced. So what I'm going to do in order to make that obvious to my future self is this. We're going to call this choice text. String choice text equals that. Whoops. That. Okay, whole bunch of stuff happening in chat. Let me take a look. Totally business. Blast derp. Oh, did the derp work when arid tag blasted derp? Is there a reason why C#? Because surely Python or C++ would be easier. Dylan, C# is cross-plat. No, Dylan. Nope. .NET Core is yep. It's cross-plat. You can develop it on Linux, you can run it on Linux, you can develop it on Mac, you can run it on Mac. Oh, okay. Awesome, AridTag. Yeah, the delay is probably the stream delay, so it probably happened right when you said it, but then it takes a while before the video gets to you. So, yep, welcome everybody. I am a big fan of C# as a language. I think it's a very nice one. Awesome, thanks Copious. Yeah, no. There's there are a lot of good people in the chat, so hype derp. Let's see, replace choice with that. So this is a reminder to myself. So pull from operations later. Not pull from, create from operations later. So when we do the strategy pattern to pull that out, we're going to generate that string. So that we can say what the choices are. Okay. Let's see. Gonna run this again, just make sure everything's working, and then what I'm gonna do is test out the blast part again, and then assuming this works, so apologize everybody, blast, derp, there we go. Okay, so both of those work. Yeah, the CLI of .NET Core is actually a pretty nice one. Okay, so the blast hype and blast derp is working the way that we expect. Let's confirm what happens if I just say blast. Ooh, it didn't print out the help text? Really? Let's do that. No, arguments is null, and element at or default 0. There we go. Okay. I think we were throwing an exception, it was getting hidden from us. So that's why I put those in there. I don't like those. I really want to... I am waiting for C# version 8 to get me nullable reference types. Which, if you don't know what that is, hey, there we go. Perfect. That worked exactly the way we wanted it to. Okay. You can't, but you could, oh, whoops, no, You could do that command there, Snable. You could put that in there, and that actually has links to .NET Core download as well as the Visual Studio Code download. I don't know why they didn't link in that message from the chatbot, but who knows? Let's see. So we have that working. So this has been shifted. We no longer technically need our derp command. So I'm going to get rid of it. Let's make sure everything still builds. It does. And now I want to make those commands work again. So, step one. There's a feature I'm missing in the bot, and that is that it won't clear out those two commands that we just got rid of. It will not clear them from the list. So I need to get rid of them. I added a note for myself in the code today, and I'll show you that in a second. Drep. Yep, see, right there. Derpity, derp, derp. So sadly, I'm going to get rid of the derp commands, because we just got rid of it. So I'm going to lose the aliases for now. We'll fix them later. Drep calls hype. Well, that's confusing. Whoops. Oh, I can't nuke that one yet because it has child stuff here in the arguments. View data. Delete. There we go. Now I can get rid of these. And hype. Goodbye, hype. Okay, there we go. Fixed up. Let's see. But instructions to build from source. Quick Google search comes up with a wiki page from Arch Linux. If you only want to run .NET Core managed applications, install the .NET Runtime package. To build apps with .NET Core, install .NET SDK as well. I believe you don't actually... If you install the SDK, I don't think you have to install the runtime. The SDK should come with the runtime also. Because the IDs are just the defaults that I'm using, I could use integers or IDs, and there's not a significant difference with that set because I don't have to worry about a clustered index being in the way. It's not a problem. If I were dealing with a large data set, for example, I would need to make sure they were sequential IDs to avoid the problem of a clustered index having to have its data moved around at runtime. So, yeah, as Copious mentions, there's not a huge deal. You could run with a 64-bit integer as your ID, and you'll never hit the limit. So if you were doing something and exceeding, say, 4 billion records, then you might want to use a 64-bit integer instead of a 32-bit integer, but it's not a huge deal, really. So we're mainly using a GUID because it's easy, and I don't mind them. So... Lunatic, you write an application that exceeds the limit of a 64-bit integer on a single table, and I will be suitably impressed. By the craziness that you must be doing to have exceeded that. But I love your spirit. It's good. All right. Alright, so I just changed that. We updated the data. Now I'm going to stop the bot, so it's going to leave the chat here for a second, everybody. So the bot is gone from the chat. We're going to get it started again. Once it gets going, I'm hoping that we can quickly wire this up, and then we're going to start working on the duel game that I talked about when telling people what we're going to do on the stream today. It should be a fun one. Derp. And I'm going to say Mad. Welcome, Mad. Just write each integer sequentially into the table with sequential IDs. Yeah, what I'm talking about is if you're doing like, you know, an auto-generated ID where each one is just incrementing, so you auto-increment as you add a new record. If that's what you're doing with your integers, and a 64-bit integer does not exceed that, yeah, 32-bit runs out surprisingly quickly if you're doing things like a logging table. And if you are logging, and you're going to do mass amounts like that, I do actually recommend that you use integers for your IDs for those, but just do something like a 64-bit integer if you're going to actually log entries that way. But you can also get away with GUIDs on that. There are a lot of GUIDs out there. You're not gonna hit duplicates. Logs usually aren't displayed, which is one of the reasons why I like integers for those. Okay, anyway. Close that, don't need it. The bot said hi, didn't it? Blast hype. So here's what we're working on, everybody. We're doing these. Blast hype and blast derp. So there we go. Yeah, if you're creating entities in a distributed system, it's dangerous to use numbers because the probability of collision is too high. You don't run into that with GUIDs because you really just don't run into collisions with GUIDs unless you're using them for some table that is massive. Where in theory it might be possible to run into a collision, there are definitely some databases that exist that I think could hit a collision in a GUID. Because thinking about the stats on that one, just the number of creations, I don't think you can run out of GUIDs, but you might be able to get 2 that collided in a really large database. Maybe? But maybe my mind just isn't processing how big GUID is, because it is huge. Yeah, exactly, 128 bits, so yeah, you really shouldn't run out. I think what you meant to say was this, Copious. Okay, so, that seems to work. We have our commands. Let me confirm that our old hype and derp don't work. Hype, derp. Okay, they don't. Good. So, here's what I want to do. Help alias. So we're going to take a look at our alias command, because I thought I didn't update the text. Alias, add, blast, hype, hype. Alias, add, blast, derp, derp. Okay. I think that may have worked. We're going to check our database to confirm that that worked correctly, because that's the first time we've tried this. So, in like a real form, so let's look at the actual result of that. Index of 0. There's our arguments. So we have created in our database basically the idea that when you call blast with hype, it should add the argument hype, and when you call it with derp, it should add derp to it. So that sounds about right. So if the table with a trillion rows, the chance of collisions with a GUID is about... So basically what we're saying then, Fuel Snable, is I think the... maybe Google has had a GUID collision, but that's about it. Something like that. Who's got the largest data sets? you think Google doesn't have any record sets that include more than 1 trillion entries? I don't know. Maybe they don't. I don't know. Create default settings if needed. That's that. Okay, so I'm going to close that. Where do we wire up the command handler? The command handler comes in with a command list. When we receive a command, it checks to find the first one that should execute based on their set of command words. Let's take a look at base command real fast. What set its command words? Refresh command word was called on the constructor, so it comes from here. It calls the repository. It grabs command word policy by type, calls in get type, orders them by descending, selects them, and it selects the word off of it. Okay, so here's the challenge. Currently, we are storing the command words on here as just the text. So what I want to do is this. I'm going to take a chance here. I don't remember our exact data structure. We're going to try a quick refactoring and see if this works. We're going to make this a string for now with a list of string, an iList of string as its secondary piece here. First or default dot item 1. Ouch. String word args. So if anyone hasn't seen the syntax I'm using right here, this is a little weird. This is new to C# version 7. This is actually the tuple syntax, or tuple syntax if you prefer, and this creates an object right here that has string and iList as the type of two properties on it, the first property being word and the second property being args. And it creates these automatically, so I can just say dot word. Which actually I might make that a capital W just to make it a little nicer for anyone calling that. So word and args. So refresh command words needs to change, and I will probably get rid of the tuple here and replace it with a class very soon. We will see on that one. I read only collection, and unless you want to add more words from outside later on. Yeah, I probably should, Copious. I should be able to get away with that. I don't think we're going to add any after the fact. So we're just going to have what's in there. Command words dot any where x dot word equals insert that. Now to fix this error really fast, we are going to say, instead of selecting the word, we are going to select the tuple. So we're going to say dot command word and dot arguments. This is going to be as a list of string, comma, I read only collection of string. Why is it not like that? Operator cannot be applied to that one made a list, that one made a string, so hang on. I'll have to convert that to an I read only collection if I go that route, right? Because the arguments aren't. iList is an interface that is implemented both by list and array, and Copious is correct. It adds various things, and it does come with, it is part of our base class library. Let me put it to this. We'll switch it back in a second. I just want to get past this stupid error here. What is it doing? Generic list, iList. Why does it not want to... Cannot be applied to type list. Oh, whoops. I'm sorry. That is not a... arguments dot select. Here's what we're gonna do. So I was just selecting this off to begin with, but let's do this just to make it a little bit easier. So those are the command word entities. Assuming that we got any, it is going to say order by descending, select on that, and to list it. We're going to order after we've selected. No, because we don't have that at that point, so we're going to do that. There we go. Question mark dot order by that. Then we're going to to list it. But this, instead of selecting that, we're going to x dot argument. Now the problem is this is complaining because that is an enumerable, so we need to list or to array it, doesn't matter. Oh yeah, the exact tuple we're using right now is new. You think I need to tuple create on that? No, that's command word. This is the problem. What's command word's type? That is a string. Yeah, you might be right. Maybe I do have to. I shouldn't have to. I really should not have to do this. It should create that way. If this magically works, I'm gonna, you know, probably crack some skulls or something somewhere. Okay, good. Yeah, we don't want that. We want this. We want our return type here. So we're going to grab our return type. That is what we want. It should be that. Then we can absolutely apply this. So this is out of the equation. That is not a problem. So that's just the type. We don't need the names here. The names being on that is all that matters because we're not going to use this. So this is going to be words. Then we are going to say command word entities. Order by is primary. Then we're going to say select. I'm going to call that command word. CW select. That's a tuple. Cannot convert string of command word. Cannot convert a list of string command word. It's like it's wanting to apply this name to it. So if you did command word entities, you don't have to do the question return. After the first word arguments, you close the tuple and remove all the stuff to to list. Hang on. Let's do something. What is this wanting to return? Is the question. List of string of list of string. Oh, because it's an I list of string, but then it complains. Maybe because it's a tuple, it can't deal with the fact that that's an I list. So in order to make that work, all I have to do is this. So I have to come in here and cast my... Is that what it's missing? Oh, geez, that's all it was missing? Yeah. No, it's that stupid thing. Okay. Oh, yes. You are correct, Fuel Snable. We could get that at the beginning. So what we would do instead would be... if we made this the empty list. Fuel Snable's correct. So if we do this, and then put in, you know, a new list here, then we'd be okay. We could get away with that, and then these would disappear. Which then means that this would go away. Essentially moving that to this point instead. And I guess then you could put it at the end of this to save you from having to wrap like that. There we go. That's nicer. Binary Logics, welcome! Thank you for the Twitch Prime subscription. Greatly appreciated. Please enjoy your DevChatter egg and DevChatter hype emote. As well as the ability to run a few extra commands in our bot. Okay, so. And link doesn't return null unless the call chain started as null. Yeah, Fuel Snable. It's rare that link returns back a null, but it happens sometimes. What about var? Var for what? Var for this? We could use var here now because we got rid of that. And it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. Let's make sure everything builds. We might have missed something as part of that big change. I'm trying to reduce the method's cyclomatic complexity to save you complaints from the static tool analysis. Thanks, Fuel Snable. Much appreciated. I think seeing a lot of... yes, it is, Will Bennett. I agree. Yes, I agree. Question mark dots are an annoyance. One of the things that I think is actually going to fix those a lot, getting rid of a lot of our null conditionals, is going to be the nullable reference types. I think I mentioned that before we got started on that little piece there, is that was going to be a big thing. Fake command text, word. There we go. I add them to everything personally. Yeah, it comes up a lot, Binary Logics. It's really nice to be able to toss them in there. I can definitely agree with that. Alright, so... now, in our list here of our command words, we also have the arguments. So, command words now has our args on it, so... Let's see, should execute. There's no way this is going to break anything. Actually, let's do this. Alright, I don't like this, but let's try it this way. Hang on. to statement body. Is enabled and where's any? I'm going to simplify these in a second. We're going to put it this way because it's the easiest way to think through the logic. So we're going to put that there. And there should be tests on this, so if I bork it up, we'll know. Turn false, so it is enabled and that, and then this would be return true. By default, I want to just set args equal to default. What? I'm not on 7.1? How am I not on 7.1? What's going on? I thought I set all these projects to latest. Not debug, all configurations. So I'm doing a cool trick that doesn't exist until latest version of C#. Let me check my project. Am I really not? I thought we were on latest version of C# in here. Nope, we're not on latest. There we go. So here's yeah, so it's funny because it's called latest. I'm gonna catch up on chat in a second, everybody, so sorry about that. Language version, latest. There we go. Edit that. We're gonna be on latest now, guys. Latest over here. Not that you all should be switching on to latest necessarily. You only want to grab it if it actually has features you intend to use. But I want to use these, so I'm going to toss them in there. Okay. Alright, lots of discussion about famous last words, code contract, cyclomatic code complexity, should have been CCC. Oh, actually, you all should check out this cool thing that our Dallas did about code complexity with cyclomatic complexity recently. You have ReSharper installed. Check the property editor window when selecting a project. ReSharper might keep you down. I'm writing a very long comment, so Brendan has to read it to take a long time. Long. Thanks, Will Bennett. Hang on. Let's rebuild everything. We're gonna get a full build here. Full build. Game command is a base command. Alright, only one of these is real, I think. Because these are all game commands. Base command is the real problem. Should execute. Oh, I changed should execute. That's what it is. Okay, right. We changed should execute, which means that we need to change it on the interface. That's what happened. We're not done with it yet, though. And simple command is going to break as a result of that, so its should execute needs the same thing. Statement body. So the cool thing that I wanted out of C# 7.1, just so everybody knows, is this right here. is supposed to work in C# 7.1, and ReSharper is yelling at me. So maybe that is, you have ReSharper installed, check the property editor window, selecting a project. ReSharper may keep you down. Is there an option for that inside of ReSharper that's going to mess me up that you know about there, Copious? If you do, I'd love to know where to tell it what language I'm using, because it seems to be freaking out about my C# because it's being dumb. Check the properties window in the bottom right. Don't know what you mean. Out. There we go. Out, and then I'm going to say out underscore. So for anybody who hasn't seen this before either, wait, why is that one yelling at me? Out. Oh, I didn't comma it. Out underscore. This underscore is called a discard in C#, and what that does is it basically creates an object that I don't actually care about. Nothing will ever happen with that. It won't really be used. It's in the properties window. Check the properties window on the right, or was it in the in the properties window? Startup project description, path, name. You're talking about this down here, right? Well, either way, it built this time, right? I think it did. Error list, it built. Okay, so here's what I want to do. So that's the command handler. These are the args I actually want. So let's find everywhere that this was called. The should execute method. So there were 5 references to it. So that's on base command. That's on the help command. Delete command operation. Is help command not a base command? It is. All commands. Oh, it checks to see if we should execute. Oh, hey, that's a clever trick. Yeah, that's nice. So we want to keep it that way on the help command. On the delete command, it also finds it that way. That should work as well. Simple command should ignore it. And then the command handler. So this is the only one that actually wants these arguments. So what we're going to do is this. We're going to do an out ilist of string. And we're going to call this args. So now we have access to the args at the point that we're going to execute that command. So what we're actually able to do here now is go find where we called this bot command. We said process the command. We're going to pass in args. Doesn't exist. What? What? ReSharper Ultimate? ReSharper Ultimate? Am I out of date? I could be out of date. I might need to update ReSharper. That could be it. Yeah, so I think I must just be out of date on my ReSharper, and if I update it, it will probably work. But whatever version I have of ReSharper running, I can tell you that it's newer than C# 7.1. So, like, 7.1's ancient at this point. It's been out for quite a while. 7.1's last year. So it must be a year-old one. Oh, yeah, no, fuel stable, that's fine. Plenty of people don't like ReSharper anymore. Or, you know, CodeRush or any of those other tools. I still think they're useful, but I'm weird. Switch. That should have worked. Process the command, add parameter. Wait a minute. Was this maybe not run? Oh, first or the default where it should execute, so we didn't necessarily set that. Because it gets called on each one of these, so it only gets set when we need it. So what we should be doing instead is this. I understand why I didn't have access to it now. I was not thinking. That was on me. We need to do it like this if we're going to do this approach. Because we always grab it based on the collection, we need to select it off now as something like this. Which I guess we could do that. No, we do need to do it this way. This comes out. That gets set there. But if I do that, then I can't use it here. Maybe I'm being crazy. Thought that's supposed to be uninitialized, but we'll see what it does with it. Anyway, Copious, did you accidentally link? Or intentionally link, for that matter? I still use it for some things, but VS is getting much better. Yes, that's absolutely true, Binary Logics. Visual Studio is always getting better, so I always find it funny when people point out, it's like, oh, Visual Studio does this, and it's like, oh, yeah, ReSharper's been doing that for me for like a decade. And, you know, oh, that other feature? Yeah, CodeRush has been doing that for a while. Yeah, so this is Windows, but all the code we're doing here works on Linux. So this is C# using .NET Core, so you can run this same code in VS Code if you want to. I did find it when I began to learn Scala. Yeah, okay, so if we pass that in, these are the string args. I just realized the problem that this doesn't quite work yet. The base command should execute, should not return back strings, it should return back some kind of an argument. Yeah, we need the actual types on this. Yeah, so I don't want to return a tuple. We're going to have to start returning back full types instead of tuples, because this is getting a little messy. So here's what I'm going to do instead. We are going to start off by committing this. This is our addition of those tuples. We're going to get it in here now, so adding argument fetching to adding arguments to aliases, so using hype derp as, what is this? This is the initial example. So that'll be the initial version of that. So let me commit that for now, because I want to do the thing I told you guys I was going to do, because I think it sounds fun. So Copious, what I need to do, because what I realize the problem is I want to make sure I get back the arguments in order and insert them that way. So we got to the point where we had the string arguments and could have passed them in. So I could finish that up here. We'll finish that part, but it's not as robust as I want it to be because of the fact that we don't have the ordering. So when we do process the command, and I come down here, I have the args. Where's the command? It's right here. Attempt to run command, which is this one. We need to pass the args to that as well. We add that parameter right here. And E needs to get modified is the challenge. So then we would do like e.arguments. So it would be like for each string arg, we would say e.arguments and it would basically be like actually if we did that, cleared the arguments to begin with, and then did e.arguments add arg, then we could get away with it. Alright, we'll try this real fast. Didn't you order them when you fetched them from the repo? Yes, Copious. I think it seems odd that we use collection find first or default. Some of other things also returns. Oh, Fuel Snable, I totally agree. We need to fix that. I agree completely. Yes, that's why I was saying we need to. That's why I was pointing out we need to switch to an actual result type return value. But I just need to go create a bunch of classes, and I was already getting so many files. I wanted to get a commit in there, so that's why I'm like, yeah, let's just get to a commit, and then we can start refactoring. I like to commit and then refactor, if I can. So I think it works as is, and then we can start fixing this. Whoop. Really? Oh, we were breaking everywhere, apparently. I apparently totally borked that thing. There are tests on some of this stuff, Copious. Okay, we failed when adding the stuff into the database, into the running command handler, I think, then. I was actually impressed by that, Fuel Snable. When we first started writing that, I hadn't thought about the fact that that was getting run inside of a lambda expression inside of a link statement. Oh, I didn't actually pass them. Well, that's why that part didn't work. Where's my other one? Wow. Wow, that was a bad idea. Stop. Really? Really? You thought I wanted to look in a CSS file? Wow, it really does find it in there. That's hilarious. Okay. Control T, press it 3 times. No idea what that's supposed to do. Anyway. Alright, what is it? That's not the problem, I don't think. The bot said hello, but it's not responding to any commands right now, so there's something wonky going on. Which maybe it's that. So it says hello world. Let's say pet. Ooh, nice. Okay, it's working again. Oh, uh-oh. Well, interestingly, it figured out it used the aliases, but it's not passing any parameters, it seems. So let's do this. Inside of the command handler, when we were applying those, when we did this, let's find out if it hit for hype. Because we should have. We did not. E, arguments. There should be none. There are none. How about args? Are there any args? There are no args. We didn't get our args. Oh, I didn't set them. That's why. Inside of base command, when we did should execute, I didn't pass in the args. I just set it blank right there. So we said if there are any, then we need to do args equals command words dot select command text. It should be single, to be honest. We're going to do this. And instead of that, what I want to do is extract this as the only one. So we're going to do that, and then instead we're going to say, whoops, copy, not cut. If that's not null, then args is this dot args. Tuple can't be null? Really? Tuple can't be null? Maybe I have to go and actually make that class then. Alright, here's what we're going to do. Bring that in. So we'll say if there are any, then this is word alias, alias. alias.args question mark dot args so it doesn't break. Wait, no, args, if args is null, then we do it. There we go. Alias can't be null, but args could be. Okay, there we go. Value tuple can't be null. Yeah, Fuel Snable. Because they made it as a struct, it can't actually be null. It blanked in my brain there for a second. But we can do this. The args itself can be null, so we needed to null coalesce that into our empty string, an empty list of strings. Now we can return the value, and if I run this, Copious, you want me to add range the words. The problem is the order matters on arguments in a lot of cases, so I can't just tack them onto the end. That's why I needed the robustness to be able to shift things. Hey, there we go. Nice. On this one, so I guess I should only set it if we have them? Alternately, I guess I could do this. That's funny. Will, you just suggested the same thing. Yep, that's what I did. Yes, I know, Copious. You want to add range them. Which actually is a really good idea. Now that I think about it, I thought you meant the other place. But yes, you are correct. Oh, it can't. It's an it thinks it's an I list. It's leaving as an I list. So I can't add range it. I list doesn't have an add range. It only has an add. So... But you are right. Someone get Copious a cough drop. Yep. You were right though. That was a better way to do it. I should add range if it were possible, which maybe is enough reason to use a list instead of an I list. No, it's cool, Copious. That was a perfectly good suggestion. So what I like about that is there is no hype command, there is no derp command anymore. They are both just commands with a parameter now. So in theory. I could do this. Now I need to fix our aliasing, but I could add an alias to quote and make it rigged 3. Well, not sure on that one. Anyway, we'll have to figure that out later. For now, I want to commit this and get to the code that I wanted to write here today. So this is fix up the argument calling. And we will come back to clean that up later. Okay. While this goes and gets ready to merge in, I want to jump on to our next bit of code. We're about to start the fun, ladies and gentlemen. Let's take a look as we start dueling. If I can type dueling game. We're going to branch off of this because that arguments aliasing branch that we were just building is going to need to get merged in still. So, now for some C# and JavaScript. Let's get going. Okay, step 1. Close all this crap that we don't care about. Close all the documents. Oh crap, I realized I didn't show you guys something. Alright everybody, heads up. I need to show you some code that I added without you. If we take a look at our iRepository, now before people run screaming, the repository that we use here is actually one that doesn't suck. We have iSpecification. The thing that I added that is new in iSpecification, which I realize I don't need that, maybe. Oh, where am I calling this? Only internally? We'll leave it just in case. I added these last 2 lines here to our repository. Wait, what's long? This, oh, .peak takes 30 seconds. Oh, okay. So this interface has 3 things on it. Criteria. This is how we do all our filtering logic. So whenever we filter an expression that we call into our database, it's actually packaged up in one of these nice specifications. We get our specifications from our policies, like these. So our policies follow specific things, like we might say by ID, and by ID creates a new data item policy with this as the expression. And what this means is, all throughout our code base, we don't have to write this kind of code. We can just say, foo policy dot by ID, pass in the value, and if we decide later on that there's special circumstances with how you do those, like for example when we do a by name lookup, you might say case insensitivity is something important, or you only want to find ones that are active. No one has to remember that needs to be there every time you try to filter by that. So that's one of the big problems with allowing custom filtering all through your code, and if you don't do that, you end up with 100 methods on your repository. So this is how we avoid it. So what I added today is this. I added our set of includes, and what I do with it is I call, in our command word policy, I told it, when you use a command word policy, include the arguments. And what we do to make this work is inside of our EF repository, so this is actually our only repository. You'll notice it is not filled with like get by ID, it's not filled with like get by name and various other junk. We also don't have 5 different repositories, one for each type. So we are able to essentially move filtering and, including logic into those filters. The nice thing is they work in a variety of different ways, so we can apply them to other code. So down here, I added a set with includes method, and all it does is it just says, hey, take your spec, grab your includes, aggregate all the includes together that you had, and go ahead and apply them to that queryable. So essentially take your data, force the includes on it, is kind of the idea. So it works well. And welcome anybody that was lurking around in the C# Fritz stream. I don't know what you were just watching, but glad you are here all the same. we were just showing off the repository that we were working on. Actually, that's just a side effect of some of our code. I had to add that in order to include our arguments in addition to our aliases. Using expressions is how you replace stored procedures as well. Too many people don't use expressions. Copious! Yes, exactly. Expressions are very nice for that. You're teaching yourself C++. You do the basic things like arrays, variables, classes, loops, etc. You did a 600-line command code to learn something. But you think that was a waste of time. Can you give me an idea of project to do so I can improve? A book, a tutorial? Yeah, so we don't want people linking stuff in chat just because they're, I don't know, someone could link something that's actually dangerous for people to click on. Is this it? The stuff we were talking about in Discord? More read, yeah, probably yes. I think that is the stuff that we were looking at in Discord. I just added it in. That's at least a simple version. There's actually more that specifications can do. You can also use them for handling the information about how you want things cached as well. So that's part of the idea there. So lots of cool stuff. Yes, Fuel Snable. In fact, Nightbot even thought that your mentioning Twitch.tv was overboard because it's crazy. Apparently not, Fuel Snable. Yeah, sorry. Nightbot's a bit of a jerk. Okay. Sorry about that. Oh, you know what? I realized I haven't clicked all the buttons lately today. So, everybody, don't forget to join our Discord. It's got a lot of good stuff in there. Also, don't forget to check out the archives of our videos over on YouTube. And you can follow the channel on Twitter. So, just wanted to click those buttons real fast. Here's what I want to do. I want to make a new game. Bot modules, there's our voting module. We're going to make a folder called dueling module. And inside the dueling module, I am going to create a new command called duel command. And this is going to allow us to duel each other in chat, I hope. We'll see how it goes. This is going to be a base command in our project. We are going to implement the missing pieces. These are not the missing pieces. Role required in order to do this is going to be everyone, and we don't need to pass in that last parameter. Okay, so now that's all wired up. We should basically have our duel command up and running. All I need to do now, for anyone who's been here long at all, you guys know that the first thing I do is whenever I make a new command, I immediately go and I try to get it running. So we're gonna go ahead, compile, build, and I just want to make sure it works. Rubix, you will have to let me know what that acronym is. My brain doesn't always function for acronyms and things like that while I'm on the stream. What is this? Duel command. This is the duel command working. Nice. Oh, Kerbal Space Program. Oh, yeah, Rubix. I love that game. I have thought about doing a game or two on stream, or doing a stream for a little while, and then I would switch over to playing a game and switch over to my other Twitch account and just raid myself at the end. So that this channel was kept clear of gaming, and anybody that followed along with us could watch that if they wanted, or whatever, but I try not to... I didn't want to mix the streams, so that's why I didn't do gaming on here. I created the separate account. This is the duel command working. Whew. So here's what we need to do. We need some operators. So first things first. Operation to use based on the first argument. So we're going to steal this code from here, because that, I think, works well enough. Element addr default. We don't have a voting system. So there wasn't an operation. Yell at the, help text. chat client dot send message help text. There we go. Let's see what's going on. Duel. This is the duel command. What is your alternative account on? Oh, here I will say hi in the chat. Let me bring him in. And by the way, it's that. Yeah, so I am Brendonius, obviously. Okay, so I want operations as well, so I'm gonna go steal that. 'Cause why not? Never updated. Oh, that's fine. Like, why is it complaining? So because it got that, okay. We're going to try to new it up here, and we'll see what happens. So we need a new operation here. So this is going to be new challenge. Accept challenge operation. Start challenge operation. And actually, I just realized we can't do it that way. Well, I'll mention why here in a second. I'm gonna bring this down here, and we're gonna say underscore operations dot add, and then new here, close. There we go. And I'll explain why in a moment, why I had to do it this way. So we're gonna create that type, class that, implement its missing members, and move it to its own file. Create that type. There we go. Implement the missing members and move it to its own file. There we go. Okay. So the reason why we have to put that in its own, why we have to put it here and why it can't be created on its own there is the fact that I think I'm going to need a chat user collection. Because I think that I should only allow you to duel someone that's actually here. But we'll figure that out in a second. So we'll pass that in. We're going to add a constructor that brings in the chat user collection. It's going to save that. So that is who is in chat. And we'll see if we can get away without it, but here we go. So this is start a challenge. And for start a challenge, we should allow anyone who's in that list. So instead of that, we're going to wire this up this way. I'm going to say underscore chat user collection. Can I say... Is there not an all? There may not be an all just yet, so... Repository... I could make an all. Well, either way, let's... Yeah, let's expose that for now. Not a big fan of it. This is all chat users. Get all chat users. Return back that, if get all chat users, that. Huh. Okay, we'll try that. So then inside of our start challenge, we are actually, instead of saying, you know, that for the words, it's going to be underscore chat user collection dot get all users. To list. Not a big fan of that, because the problem is it's got to be a list, so okay. I don't know why I made that a list. We're not going to set the help text just yet. Then in this one, accept, whoops, new list of string operand words that we accept are okay. Get all users, I'm here. Yeah, Crimson, you're here. Boom. Hey, it's Jen's Duck. Hey, welcome. Why am I not a big fan of that? Why am I not a big fan of what? I wasn't a big fan of something I did. Oh, I two-stringed onto the thing that I just un-two-stringed. What is the guideline when something should be a property get or a get method? I feel like if all it is a backing field, everybody knows with a getter that that's usually the way it works, and you can use a property for it. And the other direction, you can sometimes when you want to. I probably should use one actually in my chat user collection. That should probably be one, so let's do this. So we'll do that, and that's a property. And we're going to chop get off the beginning of his name. Oh, yeah, yes, Nabel. Yep, we got that. Thank you, though. Making sure I didn't forget it. Okay. Yeah, that's basically what I fixed there. Jen's Duck. Awesome. I would be glad to work on a custom bot. Alright, so start challenge first. So I need... Alright, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to create a dueling... I'm going to create a dueling system that is going to have a collection of ongoing... It's going to have duels that we're going to call ongoing duels, assuming I could type. Now the reason I'm setting it up this way is I want to create an object when we run this that has challenger string challengee totally not confusing. Those words aren't almost exactly the same. Okay. Yeah, there's a koozie on my Pepsi. Oh yeah, no, I didn't actually. No one. So the funny thing is, Fuel. People asked me about that, and then no one actually asked me in Discord, which I figured would be the case. So I did not actually talk about my rates on stream. It's not the kind of thing I'd normally talk about on a stream. Just seems kind of weird to bring up. Return. You tried to start a challenge. Nice! Alright, let's do that to begin with. And then in this one, return, you have accepted the challenge. Okay, so now when we run this... Ooh, challenger and opponent. Nice, Maury. That's a much better way to write it. Good suggestion. I will fix to that in a moment. Great naming, great naming. Let me wait for it to fail to copy over the DLLs because the bot's running. I love when it does that. It's just like tung, 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 as it like hits all these failures as it can't copy any of the files. It's like, well, yeah, you can't copy the files. The site's running. Okay, what is going on here? I assumed I followed him. I own him, and he'll be mine to create and do as I want. Oh yeah, Jen's Duck. That's totally that's not how that works. Make an auction function for your bot. Oh, that'd be pretty cool. Where would he be without us viewers? He owes you oh yeah. Actually, this is the bot. That is for all of you guys. You're able to use it. That's why I give you guys some of the commands. Like hype and derp, which don't work yet, because this bot won't start. Because I didn't actually wire up the thing that uses it. So I'm betting everywhere else that I've used iChat collection requested the other one. Didn't it? Didn't it? Yes, it did. So, here's what we're gonna do. We need to fix this. I was foolish. I thought I could get away with that, but I have to do this instead. Which means that has to be there. Which means that has to be there. Which means that this... I read only collection of string. Let's see if that works. Do you build? You build! Fantastic. Clearly, if the code builds, it works. There's no way that there's any other checks required. There's the bot. Last hype. Hype, what? Okay, what? Apparently it didn't work. Now that I have broken all of your computers with all of the hypes and the derps, spamming the chat in mass like so, there we go. And they're gone. I think you meant that one, games for the win. Okay, so there we go. It works again. Let's duel. Duel. Crimson green. Duel start. Apparently I didn't wire up duel. Like, at all. Rip. Okay. Duel. Oh, whoops. Yep, that's fine. That's fine. Oh, that's what's going on. Oh, yeah, I realize what I broke. Wow, that's a lot of complexity I need to fix then. Our cyclomatic complexity just went through the roof on that thing. So here's what we need to do. We need to repository, opening command prompt. Yes, I have nasty command prompt here. Sorry about that, everybody. Get stash dash u. Oh, whoops. Didn't mean to do that. Dang it. Meant to do this. Command handler. Fix command handler bug. No, I jumped back to the dueling game. There we go. Derp. Oh, also I think I noticed I typoed this name. That's funny. It's the Benrick dueling game. Whoops. Did I already commit this? It's been pushed once? Yeah, it's been published. I won't worry about it then. Okay, so that's getting all the chat users, things like that. And then let's try this again. There we go. Duel, crimson, green. Duel. Now here's the problem. I don't think that works. No, it doesn't, because it does not find you. So what I need to do is no at on the parameter. So let's go ahead and go to the duel command, which is right here. And when we pass this property in, we want to say .noat, which will remove the at if there is one. So now when I run this, it should work that way. Hey DevChatter, what type of headphones do I have? I am listening to music. I should be listening to the same music you guys are. So I hear the same sounds that are on the computer. And I wear these. So they are wireless. And I don't even remember what they're called. I don't know. That's a good question, though. What are they called? Trex Titanium by Aftershocks is what they're called. So, they work well enough. They are not actually in my ears, so I can hear things going on around me. I live in a house where my family also lives, so this lets me hear them, because these don't cover my ears at all. Oh, nice. Thank you, Crimson Green. Yep, so there we go. Alright, so I said that I was creating a dueling system. So let's do this. We want one dueling system in the command, so we're going to have a dueling system come in. So that's going to get created for us. Come in here, and we are going to give that to our operations as well. Because we want them to have access to it, because it's actually what's going to manage the dueling stuff. Well, that was dumb. User collection is what you wanted to call it? Thanks. How smart of you. It was not very smart. There we go. Okay, so now we've got that wired up. The dueling system needs to keep track of ongoing duels, because what I want to have happen is this. When you go to start one, you tried to start... okay, so we're going to say... check for existing game. If already challenged, accept. So it was a duel, and someone made the suggestion of opponent being the name. So challenger and opponent. So here's what I want to do. I want to say underscore dueling system dot is already get challenges. Get challenges. We'll get challenges for the user. first thing I want to... Opponent equals event args dot arguments, and then I want to do a no at on it as well. So we have, this is our opponent name. Challenges for the chat user and the opponent. Var existing challenge. So if you tried to start one against that person, we'll look for it. So we're looking for your duel. And actually that should have just been chat user name. So we want to return ongoing duels dot single or default where whoops, derp, we want to say where x dot opponent equals challenger and whoops, opponent equals challenger and where challenger's the opponent and the opponent is the challenger. So this is you accepting one where the other guy challenged you. So this is get the challenge where they challenged you. That looks right. I think I got that right, but let's go ahead and make sure that we get that working. So let's, since we sort of figured out how we want that to work, how we want to call that, let's go ahead and test that. So we're going to do our dueling system tests. So this is going to be, hey Jolie. So dueling system. What was it in? Not modules, dueling module. Yep, move that, that's fine. We're gonna make a class called, whoops. Dueling system get challenges. Thanks, stay hydrated, bot. Where'd my cat go? He escaped. He was trying to climb me there for a minute there. It should do something given so there's how I like to start my tests, and then I do one of these and I just run it. And this lets me not think about what the test has to do, and I can start writing it and then figure out what it's going to do based on that. So now I know that I need to make a dueling system for this test. So we're going to make one of those. Dueling system dot get challenges. And this is going to be Brendan. And my opponent is Crimson. And that should be that. And then I want to say challenges should be null. So there we go. So I want to say challenges should return null given no duels yet. Challenges should kill Brendan. Thanks, Crimson. You forgot to steal first. Okay, awesome. So that works. Obviously, I want to make sure that really did work. So single default, yeah, that's basically gonna work. Let's do the other one where it should succeed. Return duel given check already actually, let's do this one. Yeah, okay, actually, let's say return duel when already an opponent. So if we're already an opponent, we should get that. So how do we make ourselves an opponent? Gaming LXG, hey, welcome. So we need to say dueling system dot request duel. So we're going to add one in that way. We're going to have to write the test for that as well. So that's request duel. When we request a duel, we're going to have to lock on this because we don't want multiples getting created that are the same. Add new duel. And challenger is Brendan. And opponent is Crimson. Okay, cool. Let's rename this to challenger. Let's rename this one to opponent. Donk. There we go. Now let's run our unit tests and see. Burp, derp. Because the bot's still running. It doesn't actually want to overwrite these files. Yeah, our build fails sometimes because the bot we're actually using in this channel is the one that's running in stream. So the bot that's actually there is this Visual Studio instance that we're running right here. So that's why it gets a little bit weird at times. Don't let that bother you, though. Let's go, bot. Let's go. Sorry, Janiscu. The bot's not really there. That's a lie. Oh, whoops. Oh, that's why it's going wrong. Okay, hang on. We added in a requirement to this that isn't going to work yet because I never told anything about the dueling system. So, where did I do a voting module? This is going to be the dueling registration module. So this is going to be module. There we go. So that's going to be an autofact module. we need to register the dueling system, so I'm going to hop down to core module. Oh, I called it registration module. That's actually not a bad name. So I'll use that for now, and we'll ignore the one I'm about to create. Wait, that is what I called it. Ah, that's funny. I came up with the same name twice in a row. Yay, go me. Must be a good name, clearly. No way that could be a bad name. I came up with it twice. One last time for good measure. This is the Reload the Bot stream today. Hey everybody. Twitch is probably getting pissed off at me because the bot, every time it starts up, makes a call out to its web API. Request the list of all the people that are in the chat room, and then half the time it fails. That's all that was, right? Yeah, just a connection refused. Yeah. There we go. There you go, Janisku. We got height. Oh, it hasn't connected yet. I'm sorry. It'll probably connect in a little bit. You'll remember we have retry logic that could take up to 30 seconds to retry. Might not have been long enough yet. Well, we'll check in a minute. Anyway, we were writing unit tests on this. Okay, so that passes. It is able to... No, that does not pass. That should not be... should be not null. Should not be null. And good job, Crimson. See, it was just timing for it to reconnect there. Oh, this is the previous one. Okay. So we're going to have Crimson... So Crimson had to request a duel against me, and then I am accepting it. So we will call this place two occurrences of initial challenger, and this is accepting opponent. There we go. In this direction it should work. The nice thing about that is that confirms our other theory. Return null when trying to accept own challenge. So there we go. And all tests pass right above my head right there. That's 3 successful. That's green. So we are good. Okay, so that piece does kind of work. Let's check the next stuff. In our dueling system, we want to... So that adds in the thing that looks for an existing challenge. This is called here. That's an existing challenge, so if that is not null, then we want to accept this challenge. So we'll do something like that. We want to call the system and accept that one. So we're going to say dueling system.accept existing challenge. So that's the one we're going to start. So we're going to say existing challenge. Did this get the chat pieces? No, it doesn't. So I'm going to have this get a chat client. Or does the duel keep the chat client for where the duel was started? That's what we're going to do. The duel's going to keep track of which chat it's in. Dueling system will not get the chat client. It will use the one on the duel. So we will say, there's our chat client. Grab that at the beginning of the method so that we can use it throughout. And then we're going to go ahead and say chat client. We're going to send a direct message to each of the competitors. So actually, first off, I want to do this. Existing challenge. Start. Just so that it has a record that it is on. Is started. Start. It's going to be this equals true. So when you start it, it's going to set that value equal to true, and we'll default that to false. Ori, hey, welcome. Yeah, see? It's Crimson, Green, and Ori. Send a direct message, and it is username message. So we're going to say existing challenge.challenger. Choose your weapon. Start message. So there's challenger, that is opponent, and this is a started duel. So now it's going to direct message you when we get this going. So we're going to test it. I want to test this out. Thankfully Crimson's here, so he should be able to help me out. Hopefully you're able to give me an assist on this one, Crimson. We'll see if I got everything wired up. In theory, if you and I attempt this, we should get a whisper when we try this. And I'm going to scroll so you guys don't get a really wonky view here. So there we go. And welcome, Vlad. Thank you for following. Okay, so the bot is here. Duel Crimson. Crimson, try saying that you want to duel me. I guess I could have dueled Brandonius too. Oh, it just said you tried to start a challenge. I don't think I wired it up yet. Hang on. Start a challenge. Oh, actually, hang on. Did we get our whispers at all? No. Nope, no whispers. Let me do this. We're going to debug it. We're going to watch at that breakpoint. So I just tried to duel Crimson. When he tries to duel me back, it should accept. So hopefully he's there and able to actually type duel DevChatter. I didn't get my whisper. Did you get your whisper? Didn't get the breakpoint either. Oh, I bet I know what happened. I bet we didn't actually start it, did we? Nope, we didn't. So we need to say dueling system dot between $, that and that person. So fight breaks out between challenger and opponent. So now down here we need to say dueling system dot request duel, and that is that. So why don't we let's say $. We'll do is challenging to a duel. Type, what do we want to say? Type, exclamation point, duel, and then person's name. To accept. There we go. Now I think that'll work. Now that we actually, you know, run it. Okay, bot is going. We're going to do this from this chat window here. Duel, Crimson Green. We'll see if he's there. Ooh, we didn't get the message. But I didn't get my whisper either. We'll debug this. Oh yeah, I could duel Jen's duck. Why didn't it respond with "I was challenging you"? I'm gonna stop debugging. We're gonna try that again. Sorry, Jen's duck, right as I did that. There we go. Okay, so we're in here. Alright, so I'm challenging you. There we go. Now let's see what happens when you respond. Oh, because you can't type the same command. You know, you could just type gibberish in there and then it would free you up to say it again. Okay, so hang on. So this is accepting the challenge here. Should come in here. Should start it. Grab the chat client. Now it should send a direct message. Oh, throw an exception. Dueling system, line 28, huh? Oh, derp. When we added the challenge, I didn't actually set that. I said, we need to do it this way, and then I didn't wire it up. There we go. Okay, so now, when we request a duel, we need to pass that in. We did not get it at that point. We don't have it there. My whole plan hinged on that. Yeah, Blue Spide, you do not need the parens if you have if you're using an object initializer in C#. You can skip those. Hang on. Okay, the dueling system's gonna have it. It's not gonna be on a duel. We're getting rid of that from here. No more chat client on the duel. It's gonna be on this. So we're moving away from that design. Don't need that anymore. These need underscores. Okay. Did I not make a fake chat client? We'll see if I can, how long I can get away with just passing in a null to those. Alright. Hang on. Alright, we got the new version going. Let's give this a shot. Duel. Something green. Duel. Okay, so we have the fight breaks out. Did I get my Ooh, I got my whisper. Choose your weapon. Rock, paper, or scissors. Perfect. So the bot responded to me and asked me what weapon I want to use for this duel. So there we go. Okay, so now you all might be wondering, wait a minute, we're just playing rock, paper, scissors? And sort of. What I want to do is I want to be able to build it so that our duel could be multiple different games. One of them, you didn't get your whisper. I dueled you first. I wonder if it didn't know at you. Hang on. Start challenge. This is accept the duel. Existing challenge. Fight breaks out between. I bet that's the problem. It's Ferris Dueler's day off. Wow, Will, that was terrible. That was really bad. Whoop. Not that I've started that many times. And welcome. Thanks for following. This pull request and alias arguments. Yeah, okay. Hang on, what? There we go. Git was just being weird. It's Ferris Dueler's day off. Let's try this. Duel Will Bennett. Nope. Is the bot even running? Oh, bot wasn't running. That was why. Yeah, see? There's the bot. Okay, cool. So we are getting asked the question now. And welcome, thanks for following. If anybody else doesn't know about this, we have a Discord, which is a chat application that a lot of us are in. There's, what, like almost 300 people are in that Discord, so plenty of people that know about all kinds of stuff. So if you want to chat with other people who are interested in programming as much as you are, that Discord is a place to chat with them. So I recommend you take a look. Other things, we're not wrapping up just yet, by the way, but other things I want to mention while I've got your attention. All of our code is out here on GitHub. Crimson Green, take care. If you want to watch our videos, previous episodes, there's a videos section here. There's also our YouTube archives, which I linked there as well. And if you are interested in learning C# with us, I will be scheduling new episodes of it, but we do a beginner-level C# series here on DevChatter where we take things at a very low level, so we're not working with as complex code as what we do on our regular days. And we go back to basics and do a lot of explanations of things. Also, if anybody is interested, we have a nice merch store that sells awesome stuff like this, not transparent when you're not using a green screen, mugs and things like that for DevChatter. And if you are interested in knowing when our stream happens, I recommend, well, if you do this, I recommend you check out our schedule, which it figured out Ahoy must be a place in Central Europe. That's news to me. Whoops. Binary Logics wants a transparent mug. Close by, it actually probably only searched for close there, Will Bennett. But if you want to know when our schedule is for wherever you are, I recommend you check out our schedule feature there. So schedule for Europe, I think just gave you UTC there, Crichton. Why don't you pick a country or a city in Europe? You'll probably get better results. Because like schedule America doesn't really get us anything. Central Daylight Time. What the crap? That makes no sense. No sense. Central Time is one of the least populated time zones in the schedule America. Alright, anyway. So that starts up a duel. So this is... Get dueling started. Okay, so once a duel is started, there's actually some stuff that we want to do with it. Once it's going, we're waiting for a response via a whisper. So the bot needs to be able to accept a command via a whisper. So... Twitch chat client. On whisper command received. Maybe we just want it on whisper received. Whoops. Twitch whisper received. There we go. Casper, that's awesome. For anyone who doesn't know, Casper is special. For how long do you usually stream? Crichton, most of our streams here on the channel are 2 to 3 hours. So, we have been streaming for 2 hours, 34 minutes. Okay, so, on received, we want to say... This is basically just a wrapper around the Twitch chat client because of the fact that we want to be able to control our own interface, so if we need to deviate from it at all, we need a wrapper around it. On whisper received... Question mark dot invoke this e.to whisper received event args open closed. There we go. This will be on whisper received. And what did I say that type was called? So if I come down here and I put that there to that, that's going to need to be a new type, which is going to be at the same place as this one. Whoops. There we go. To command received event args. public static whisper received event args, and the method is going to be called this, and it's going to accept on whisper received event args that we're going to call source. Down the stream has not been going for 0.0000. Thanks, Will Bennett and Casser. That was nicely done. You weren't aware that Casser was the name of one of my bots. Miller Time? Like Andrew Miller, or like the beer? Because I'm not gonna drink that beer on stream. That's for sure. Speaking of beer, can you guys believe that? So I don't watch football. Actually, I don't watch. I should well either American football or, you know, rest of the world football. And I don't know if you guys know about this hilarious thing. Cleveland Browns beer. So, Bud Light did this, like, hilarious thing where they're like, if the Browns win, like a game that there are all these, like, beer fridges around Cleveland where you can where, like, when the Browns win, they'll unlock all these fridges and there's free beer for everybody in Cleveland. Well, the Browns broke their losing streak that was like this massive losing streak, but they broke it with a tie, not with a win, so there's no free beer for everybody. So that's funny. Whisper message. Message. Display name. Okay, from display name. Message equals source dot whisper message message. There we go. Create property. So there's the event args as far as what we need. So now we can convert that. Let's build. Yeah, Will Bennett, I bet that was unbearable for everybody. So for all the non-Americans here on the stream that don't know, the Cleveland Browns are not exactly known for winning a lot of games. They had a perfect season last year. 0-16. Which is funny because the previous year they were 15-1. So in 2 seasons of their sport, they managed to rack up 1 win. That was pretty bad. Okay, so the bot is running here. It should be able to receive a whisper now, but we don't do anything with a whisper. So what we need to do is we need to make it so the dueling system is paying attention for those. So chat client dot... Oh, you know what? I added it to the Twitch chat client, but I did not add it to the interface. So we're going to the chat client interface, and on here whisper received, and this is whisper received event args. There we go. Now our fake chat clients and stuff like that are going to break. So I'm going to have to... Oh, right, we're not using a fake chat client anymore. We're only using mocked versions, so they don't care. Okay, cool. So, what that means is here, I can say underscore chat client dot on whisper received. Nope, that is not the one I wanted. We're going to create a method that was chat client on whisper received. And I want to say, first things first, if underscore ongoing duels, if there aren't any ongoing duels, then we're just immediately going to return. So that has to be the case, or we're going to return and totally ignore this, get out as quickly as we can, because there's no reason to be in here. Do we want to return on any other conditions? So here's what we need to do next. Let's get the username. So e.from display name. We're gonna say from user equals that person, and I want to say ongoing duels where duel dot challenger equals from user, or duel dot opponent equals from user. And I do want to actually do an equals ins from user on this. So that is a case-insensitive comparison, a little helper that we created that's going to help us out there. Equals ins from user. There we go. So this will get us this. This person should only be, we want any given person to only be in one duel at a time, so we're going to call this duel. Duel equals this, and instead of a where, we're going to say single or default. So find the single one of these that may exist. And if it does, so if we really have one of these, then we want to apply to it. So existing duel dot apply selection, which is going to be e dot from display name and e dot message. I don't want it to really know about the fact that it received a whisper. That seems too like significant to the implementation for that to know about the fact that it was a whisper. So we're going to say from display name and message. We want these duels to be typed eventually. So right now this is just a duel, but we want to know what they picked eventually. So so let's say hang on, we have that. User choice. Thanks. How'd you know I want a definition on value tuple, you piece of garbage? Rage. Alright, there we go. So we want to say prop challenger choice and prop opponent choice. Yeah, we're just hard coding these in for now. I think it should work well enough. So we are going to see so if this person is the challenger, then the challenger choice equals we don't want it by ID, we want it by name. I must not have written it by name. Maybe I did write it by name. Public static bool get by name out. Oh! It's a boolean with an out. Okay. That's weird. That's fine. Out. Rock, paper, scissors. Choice. Ghouls choice. Okay, there we go. We got it. We got it. We made that work. So get by name, apply that. There's their choice. Yeah, I know it's never used. We'll figure it out. That we're not doing anything with. Okay. Well then, let's see. I think that worked reasonably well. Okay, so let's go ahead and do this. So, first off, if anyone is new here, there's a few things I want to mention. First off, that you should absolutely join our Discord that I just linked in chat over there. Our Discord is a chat application where you can talk with me and other developers who are interested in programming. So it's a good place to just go if you want to just chat about stuff, share ideas, and just have a sounding board on stuff. It's a nice place for that. If you want to contribute to any of our projects, they are out on GitHub, and you can find them at github.com/devchatter. If you want to see any of our old videos, you can find them here in the videos section on Twitch above the stream, or you can also find a pretty good archive of them out on YouTube. If you want to support our channel, the best way to do that is to make sure you're here watching and following along and chatting with us. Feel free to tweet, retweet, whatever, tell people about the channel. If you want to go further than that, you could also cheer, subscribe to the channel, or support us on Patreon. And I actually have a new thing that we're going to be adding to our Patreon rewards sometime soon, and that is this little share button up here. My intention is to start bringing people in so that you guys can actually be in the source code and digging around in this Visual Studio while we're coding live. That way you can actually see what's going on, so you'll never be lost as I jump around from screen to screen. You can, essentially follow along looking wherever you want. Should work out well. Other things that I want to mention. The other thing, we also have our awesome DevChatter merch stuff that's pretty cool. So if you are a derpy dinosaur and you like coding, that is something you should check out. Let's see. I need to click one more button here. I might have us raid someone today, but first off, I want to make sure that I thank some people. So, first off, I want to thank our moderators. Sounds like we had Stoolpenner here today, so thank you, Stoolpenner. And then there's also a bunch of people followed today, so thank you to all of those. You are wonderful people. And in addition, we got iHeart Coding and Binary Logics subscribers. So, Binary Logics and iHeart... make sure that you enjoy your DevChatter hype emotes that you can now spam in chat. You also have access to more of the games that you are able to run that our bot has. And you have dinosaur eggs that'll hatch, emotes. And if you join our Discord, you actually end up in the subscriber role and get slightly more permission. Blast is on cooldown. That's funny. Derp claims that it's Blast. So that's kind of funny. But I will spam Derp for you. There you go. I was thinking that we might host someone today. What do you guys think about... let's see. Do you guys have a strong opinion on hosting a gaming stream versus a programming stream? Something like that? We're on Twitch, so they both exist. I don't know. Yeah, we could do it. Vote new gaming programming. There you go. Hey, welcome. Alright, so we will take a look. Programming. Let's see if any of these look like stuff that we like. Can't tell what he's actually doing here. Reviewing code? That could be interesting. I'll let you guys see where I'm looking. Chill programming stream. Seems like he's probably an English stream. I don't know what he's doing, but it looks interesting. So, yeah, cool. We'll find out. White Knife. So we were actually just wrapping up the stream. We were doing some pretty awesome stuff today, which I will tell you about. So first off, we updated our aliases so that we can call commands on our bot through an alias, and that alias can call another command with a parameter. So that's actually one of the cool things that we created. I thought it was really neat. And then the other thing we did today is we have started work on a new dueling game that we've got here. So we are going to be able to duel other people in the stream. So you can challenge them. Right now we're going to start off with rock, paper, scissors, but I want to have some other games as well. So the idea being you start a duel with someone, the bot's going to send you a chat message with what you need to do to compete in it, and then you respond back. So it might be like, asking for your choice of rock, paper, or scissors, or it might ask you for something else. And then you essentially play this game against the other opponent, and we find out the results in chat of who won against the other person. So that's kind of the idea. Anyway, as I said, we're wrapping up, so I am going to host. It seemed like he was live and doing stuff, so hopefully he's not about to wrap up. But anyway, I want to thank everybody for showing up today and all your support and everything like that. Hopefully I see you back soon. And if you are interested, make sure that you go ahead and hit that follow button, join our Discord, everything like that, and we will see you next time. Our next stream is tomorrow, so that is 21 hours from now. So I will see you all tomorrow. Have a great rest of your Monday, and happy coding.